ready, because what we are talking about today is nothing short of historic. Today, we're breaking down the return of BTS, one of the biggest cultural forces on the planet, and how their explosive reunion after military service didn't just make waves, it shook the entire world. If you are a member of ARMY, or even if you've just heard their name once, this moment is embedded in pop culture forever. And we're diving into every emotional beat, every chart breaking moment, and every reaction that had the internet going wild. I want you to grab your tea, get comfy, and let's talk about this legendary comeback. So let me start by asking you, where were you when BTS announced they were going to reunite after their military service? Take a moment and drop it in the comments right now. I want to see who was screaming, who was crying, and who immediately started refreshing Twitter every second. It's okay. We all did it. Now let's rewind a bit to understand why this comeback felt like a global event rather than just another album release. Imagine seven young men rising from absolutely nothing, grinding through late nights, becoming trainees, debuting in 2013, and growing into a group that defined a generation. From rooftop performances to stadium sellouts, BTS wasn't just a K-pop group. They were a movement. They inspired millions with messages of self-love, empowerment, and connection across borders, languages, and cultures. So when news came that they would be fulfilling South Korea's mandatory military service, the world paused. Not because they were gone forever, but because it felt like a pause on something that had defined so much of our lives. In South Korea, military service isn't optional, it's a duty. Every able bodied man must serve, and for BTS, that meant taking a break from group promotions. But even in that break, the bond between BTS and ARMY stayed stronger than ever. Remember the solo releases? Remember how each member built his own creative world and ARMY supported every one of them? YM, J-Hope, Suga, RM, Jin, Jimin, Jungkook, each of them grew individually, and ARMY grew with them. It was like watching seven different teas brew separately, each with its own unique flavor, only to come back together into one powerful blend. Remember how it felt when the first hint of a reunion was dropped? That moment when the teaser shimmers showed up on social media and we all collectively paused, opened a new tab, checked BTS's official page, and then screamed for 6 hours straight? Yeah, I remember that too. And if you were one of those people whose phone battery died immediately after that announcement, go ahead and hit the like button because you are definitely not alone. And this was just the beginning. The official announcement that BTS was coming back together sent shockwaves across the globe. It wasn't just trending in Korea or on K-pop fan accounts, it was trending everywhere. Governments picked it up, news stations broadcasted it, and digital billboards in major cities lit up with their faces. This wasn't just excitement, this was a global cultural tidal wave. Then came the reactions. Celebrities posted their congratulations. Friends who had never heard BTS until 1 year ago suddenly showed up in comment sections saying, "Wait, they're back?" It was wild, chaotic in the best way. But let's talk about the music, because BTS doesn't just release songs, they craft experiences. Their new tracks weren't just new music, they were emotional journeys. Songs that spoke about growth, time, struggle, love, and unity. Each track held feels that struck deep, lines that you felt in your bones, moments you replayed, lyrics you quoted to your friends. I want to ask you all right now, what BTS comeback song hit you the hardest? Was it the one that made you tear up, the one you danced to in your room, or the one that became your anthem for life? Tell me in the comments. I want to know which one made you press play again and again. And if we're being honest, the first live performance after their reunion was nothing short of legendary. I remember watching it and feeling the energy blast through my screen like a shockwave. The screams, the lights, the presence, it was like watching electricity move in real time. It wasn't just a performance, it was a homecoming. And that's exactly how ARMY reacted. Like we were witnessing a moment that would be talked about forever. Did you watch that first performance at midnight? Or did you have to wait for subtitles like the rest of us normal mortals? If you were up at midnight watching live streams with ARMY around the world, comment Midnight Gang right now. Let's see how many of you stayed awake for history. The chart impact was insane too. I mean, record after record fell like dominoes. Streams skyrocketed, playlists exploded, and suddenly every social media algorithm was like BTS this, BTS that. We saw millions of views within hours. Millions. But what was really crazy wasn't just the numbers, it was the emotional response. Fans who had been waiting for years finally got to see their favorite group back together as one unit. It was more than a comeback. It was validation of loyalty, of patience, of unwavering support. That's the kind of bond BTS and ARMY have. It's deeper than music charts. It's emotional infrastructure. During their military hiatus, fans didn't just disappear. We adapted. We celebrated solo projects, we shared fan art, we made reactions, we theorized. We waited. And through all that waiting, there was always hope. Hope that one day the group would reunite. And when that announcement finally dropped, it wasn't just a song or a concert schedule, it was a collective exhale. Relief, excitement, nostalgia, all swirling together in one massive emotional blend, like your favorite tea that finally hit the perfect temperature. It was just right. And don't even get me started on the fashion. The visuals dropped with such style that even high-end fashion magazines reposted them. BTS walks into a frame and suddenly everything becomes aesthetically pleasing. It's almost unfair. Some people came for the music, some came for the personalities, but everyone stayed for the visuals. And let's be real, every one of those comeback photos was screenshotted and saved into favorites albums all over the world. If you have a secret BTS folder on your phone, you are safe here. No judgment. I see you. But it wasn't just BTS's impact on pop culture, it was also how their message continued to resonate. BTS has always stood for authenticity and self-love. Their lyrics, their speeches, their interviews all emphasize sticking together, believing in yourself, and lifting each other up. And the return? It felt like a promise kept. A promise not just to music, but to the fans who believed in them through years of waiting. Did you cry during any BTS speeches after the reunion? I know I did, especially when they talked about how meaningful ARMY's support was during their time apart. Let's have a show of hands in the chat. Emoji for crying face if you teared up too. It's okay. Let the emotions out. Now let's talk about something that's honestly mind-blowing: the worldwide reactions. When the reunion was announced, news outlets from Seoul to Sao Paulo covered it. Late night shows joked about it, talk shows brought it up. Even people who don't know a single BTS song knew the name, because this wasn't just a music story, it was a global cultural moment. It's not every day that a group's reunion makes worldwide headlines like this. And yet, here we were, every single day for weeks. It was like BTS was the sun, and every media channel was orbiting around them. Now, I want to ask you something important. If BTS's reunion was big, how would you describe just how massive it felt? Was it seismic? Cataclysmic? Universe shattering? Drop an extreme description in the comments. I want to see the most dramatic reactions possible. And talk about creativity. The fan reaction wasn't just passive. No. Within minutes of every teaser, fans started creating edits, remixes, animations, dance covers, breakdowns, and the creativity just exploded. It was like watching an artistic wildfire spread across the globe. Some people made memes, others made theories, and others made entire animations that rival professional studios. Honestly, sometimes I wonder if ARMY secretly has an army of creative geniuses hidden somewhere. And then there were the concerts. Oh man, the concerts. If you were lucky enough to snag tickets, you already know everything about the emotional overload that comes with walking into a stadium filled with ARMY. The chants, the light sticks, the synchronized fan signals, the sheer energy. It's electric. Some fans said they felt chills the moment they walked in, like a physical force that hit them right in the chest. Did you get concert tickets? Or were you one of those watching from home with a live stream and a bowl of instant noodles because that's just life? Either way, let me know which side you were on. And I have to say this: the best part about the BTS reunion isn't just nostalgia, it's evolution. This wasn't BTS going backward, it was BTS going forward together. They came back with growth, confidence, new stories, and new musical layers. Each member brought something different back to the group. Their solo experiences added flavor like ingredients in a rich stew. And the result? A comeback that didn't just make sense, it dominated. Now here's a question for you. If BTS released a song that perfectly describes your life right now, which track would that be? I want you to think deep, tap into your emotions, and tell me which BTS song feels like your anthem. Drop it in the comments, and if you want to, include a GIF or emoji that matches your vibe. And don't forget the social side of all this. BTS didn't just release music, absolutely.